What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on my lunch. Man, so I'm at this site, and some sites every site, you check in, you cut your seal and open up your doors, or you get your seal cut here and open up your doors over there. Or some sites you just take your loaded trailer to a parking spot and they put it on a dock door when they have time and space. This particular site, you open up your doors and cut your seal all in the same spot, okay? Now, I'm not required to have cutters. I'm just in the business of transporting freight. A yard that you deliver to is in the business of shipping and receiving. So they're going to have those cutters. Now, this site normally has some decent bolt cutters, big bolt cutters. You know, those of you that are in the transportation field know how much of a bitch certain bolt cutters can be. Anyways, these were like kind of rusted, kind of old, and just in bad condition. So my biggest fear was injuring my chest while operating the bolt cutter, you know, because it wasn't in good condition. So I see one of the yard dogs. He's walking up. Yard jockey, yard dog. I call them yard clowns. Because that's pretty much what it's come down to at this point. So I'm like, hey, do you have different cutters? I'm not going to use those. And he's like, you have to use those. And I'm like, no. If there's no other cutters, I'm just going to put this in a parking spot. And this dude, you know what he tells me? He's like, you have to use those or I'm just going to get you banned from the yard. Now keep in mind, prior to this, I was a backup area manager and a person of contact at a site. So I'm very familiar with policy and de-escalating, escalating, coaching, banning, all of these things, right? So I tell this dude, I'm like, oh, this is a bannable offense, and he's like grabbing his radio, like ready to whatever, you know, like these yard dogs, you know, like they're pretty disrespectful. Now that I'm on the other side of it and I'm not one of them anymore, I sort of see how much of an asshole I probably once was as a yard dog. But now I'm on the other side of it, so it's almost like I'm the enemy now. So, another yard dog comes up with an electric cutter, which is like a $2,000 bolt cutter, and snips it right away. I open up my doors, and while I'm opening up my doors, I hear this guy running his mouth. And it's like, okay. So I drop my load, I pick up my empty, and the woman with the electric bolt cutter that cut the seal, I start talking to her. And she says that dude is about to get fired. He went to school, couldn't get his CDL, struck out 3 times because you get 3 chances, struck out 3 times, and they're gonna send him back inside, back on the fulfillment floor. Now, Amazon gives you like that opportunity to change your life, and you got to capitalize on that. And this dude can't, and it's just crazy the level of disrespect some of these yard dogs have. Like, bro, like you're living check to check, dude. Like, don't sit here and act like you're the shit. Like, you're struggling. That's why you're in a shitty mood all the time. It's no secret. Now, so, and I know some of you are probably like, wait, Magellan, backup manager? Yeah. I used to love that position, but the responsibilities just kept getting like more and more and more and stuff like that, and I just wanted to drive and use my license. Like, I wasn't trying to be a fucking manager, and no. I went to school to get my license. I want to fucking drive, but I found it just comical that someone that's supposed to know the policy and de-escalation tactics, like his job is to de-escalate any situation that arises, that escalates. But instead, he's the one escalating it and then trying to get me banned for it. Like, so in a de-escalation tactic, you cannot threaten to get someone banned, especially if I'm not doing anything bannable. What I did wasn't even coachable. Like, if you're not willing to cut the seal, I'm going to put it in a parking spot. That's not coachable. That's not bannable. Like, you guys are in the business of receiving freight. Like, I'm not infringing on the rules here. But just a little message to the yard dogs before you start going around threatening to ban people. You're not supposed to threaten anybody. If you can't de-escalate the situation, you escalate to your manager, and from there, your manager gets safety and operations and security involved. Like, you don't take it into your own hands to threaten to get someone banned. You're breaking policy when you're doing that. What you need to do is stop clicking through those K-nets and actually slow down and fucking listen to them and read it. Because a lot of these guys claim to be policy driven. They have no idea what they're talking about.